Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 197 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of December 3rd, 2022. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. With me, I have two firemen. That's Nicholas Wakefield and TJ Sakosio. I don't know why you're not listed as a fireman on my sheet, Achilles. Nice.
How dare you?
TJ had soda with his dinner, as you haven't been able, if you could tell. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay, this is correct, spelled correctly. Dean, you're our horseman.
Yes.
And Brian, you are our brakeman, of course.
Hello, is I the Starlight Alchemist? I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
In 4 weeks.
Brief breaks, and with no breaks, the train will terminate at this station. Alright, where are we?
We're in Rochelle.
Achilles
Achilles
is
impressed.
depressed.
That was
Damn.
amazing.
Listen, man, I know it's
Alright, we were
finals
in
week. I know the
Rochelle,
sitch.
Illinois at Diamond Crossing.
Wait, can we see the can we see the chat on the
No,
podcast?
no, we're not sharing the
No.
chat. We're not. You're.
God, it's so funny.
I wanted to say everyone say hi to the Terminus podcast.
Oh, okay.
No,
Well, don't
that's
tip
not-
off Virtual Rail fan that we're doing this. They don't know about us.
They're gonna be like, "Well, what?"
Yeah. Anyway,
What?
let's do the mantle of responsibility. While Etsy sends me, I get an Etsy ad for like thoughts, I guess. Anyway, Union Pacific had an engine on fire.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Wait. Which spelling?
OTS.
Oh no.
But yeah, Union Pacific. There was a video from a BNSF, or no, sorry, it's not a B. It says BNSF UP joint line. From a rail cam pointed at the joint line of a Union Pacific train going by with the third unit just engulfed in flames.
It was probably just a turbo fire. I think that those GE units are just notorious for that.
I mean, they do, yeah. But they still get on the mantle.
And it did this on my birthday too.
Yeah.
So that's an omen. If that's not an omen, I don't know what is.
It was your cake. You needed to go and blow it out. It's not the train's fault you weren't in Colorado.
See the Gevos go boom.
God damn.
Anyway, no. If we want to talk about stuff going boom, Canadian Pacific has leveled another small town. Just kidding. This was in the middle of nowhere.
Boom. I got scared the moment I realized what had happened, and I realized, they're in the middle of nowhere. That's still bad, but like, thank
It's
God.
bad.
It's less of a
I don't
threat
want
to
to
life
deal
and
with
limb.
this sort of thing.
So a mixed train derailed, or mixed freight derailed, and some tank cars caught fire, and it looks very impressive and scary. Actually, sorry, no, it seems to be mostly cars that are burning in there, which that's very unfortunate. You love seeing these wrecks that you look at this and go, God, that's expensive. But yeah, 2 cars carrying liquid petroleum gas were involved in the derailment, and some auto racks also caught on fire as a result. Yeah,
This sucks.
it's flashy. It's not the craziest thing in the world, again, because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's just a fire. Just these kinds of things don't happen every day.
At the very least, KCS is keeping its identity in the CPKC merger, so it doesn't have to deal with this on its mantle.
For now.
They're not being fully merged in, are they?
They will be, I'm sure. They're going to become
I don't
CPKC.
think they are, because otherwise CPKC wouldn't exist.
Well, CPKC is going to be the combined system. I'm fairly certain.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they're keeping the independent identity. It's not going to be like CN, where everything has to be CN.
He's right. He's right. They're keeping the CN and KCS identities.
Or CP and
CP.
KCS.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Get your damn shit right.
CN actually went out a bit. Just no one told us.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when this all
We
shakes out.
flipped the
There's still a
coin.
long road to come with the CPKC merger. Um, so yeah, well, American railroads as we know them may not exist for much longer, but we'll get to that later. If you want a flashy derailment, look no further than this derail. Actually, this is the wrong thing. This is the RNN link. Why is this? Why did this end up in here? Train derailment on the Rockville Bridge. Yeah, that's different than this. So the Reading and Northern wreck got accidentally lumped in, but Norfolk Southern derailed cars off of a bridge. Pretty much on the same day that the Reading and Northern derailed cars off of a bridge, which is kind of funny. But they also derailed a coal train and blocked a highway, which that's just a lot of not so great stuff happening at the same time on December 2nd. I'm going to leave that Reading and Northern wreck in there. It's not strictly relevant, but there you go. You can look at it
Real
if you
quick,
want.
I just want to touch on this because it's in here, and I don't think we went over it. Speaking of wrecks that are
wrecks
kind of
that don't
happen
even
in a comedic sort of way, comedic timing and all that.
We talked about this last episode.
CSX 4568, the new Operation Lifesaver engine, on November 20th, hit the truck.
Yep. Yeah, that was on the mantle last episode. It's, oops.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why is it there then?
Because they always stay there, so that I know what the last date was, so I know what to replace or who gets the mantle. If say KCS
I
had
got
wrecked.
confused. Sorry.
Yeah, the things with the asterisk next to them are new, but I deleted the asterisks because we're done with this section. Let's talk about what we've done in the past couple of weeks.
I guess I'll go. I've recently been working on a route that I found a while ago called the Miskatonic. It is a New England-based mile railroad set between 1860 and 1907-ish, thereabouts.
1910.
I found, yeah, I found it. I don't know how I found it, but I found it, and I told myself, I like this. I'll build it in a trains, and then like 4 years go by, and then I get base maps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had gotten base maps too, and I tried several times to import it, but it did not, for whatever reason, want to import right. Like the layout would just either be too small or it would be too squished together, so I couldn't do it. So I tried again, I think last week or so, and then it finally got in right. I sang Sweet Victory and got to work.
Yeah, that was a weird saga with the thing coming in at like squashed. It's just squashed with. Yeah, I don't even know how you manage that. You're missing an important thing about this railroad that you haven't mentioned yet. You called it a New England-esque route. It pulls from Lovecraft specifically.
Yes. Like, almost business, every building has to do with some Lovecraftian story. Now, I don't read much. Now, I haven't read much of his stuff because, frankly, that's just not really what I like.
It's spooky.
But I know what Alice and a Glory read, so why not? But like the middle picture, that is the most recent progress picture, but I have made a good bit more progress. I've made a lot more progress. I forgot to document.
It's coming along. I'm always like mildly impressed with people who make model railroads in trains because it's a completely other angle. Like it's another way to use the software that just never crosses my mind. Uh,
Yeah.
and I know that was like, this is how it started. It's like, oh, you could build like a model railroad, and then I'm like, I'm actually going to build a small continent, but some people are still building model railroads as Auron intended.
Exactly. Yeah, base maps. Like this was the only route that, well, was the only route of two that I managed to properly import. One was a G scale layout of the Claremont and Concord, and that just didn't want to work. So I'm dealing with so I had to just deal with that. But yeah, the Miskatonic I am looking forward to completing eventually. I linked the layout and I linked the website in my local service thing. So that's there, and it has a full history
Oh, there's a meat on the
somewhere
can.
in.
Oh, neat.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, there is.
Ah, blinding
But
light.
yeah, but the website has a full history in it of the railroad, which is really freaking cool. Yeah, that's really it. It uses the 1847 Salem station for its uh for its big station, but it's not anywhere in a trains, which sucks. Now Ryan found one like it, but it's 4 tracks and it's way too large. I tried to fit it in, and it just
Oh
too big,
man, you couldn't
just
fit
wouldn't
it.
fit. And I couldn't.
Oh, that's such a shame. I saw that post and
Yeah,
I had hope. I was just like, oh my god, look, it's the thing.
yeah,
Ish.
yeah. It was just way too long and way too wide. I couldn't do much with
That's
it.
what she said.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'll let it go to someone else.
Well, I was doing model railroad stuff as well. In fact, I should probably grab my pictures for the individuals that haven't seen them, but also for the podcast. I went to a model train show today with mostly the purpose of helping out the PN, but also the purpose of trying to sell trading cards. Unfortunately, did not sell any trading cards, but sometimes that's how it goes. The booth that we had was mostly filled up with stuff from members' donations. We didn't even bring the little modular railroad this time. This was the show in Marlborough, the Hub show, NMRA Hub Division show, and it was a pretty good turnout, pretty busy. Lots of vendors, and as a result, I did a little bit of walking around with Gloria, and I found some things. And Gloria is a bad influence, and
I'm not a bad influence.
You're a terrible influence.
No, I'm not.
I did not buy anything at train shows until I started going to them with you.
Do you not want me to participate in going to the Mount
Oh,
with you?
I want you to participate. I'm just saying.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just
that's what I
saying.
thought.
I'm just saying. That's just how it works out.
Just Super
We
Saiyan.
spent $20.
Yeah. Well, I
I
spent.
got 5 boxcars.
Yeah,
That's $20.
it's a good deal. I'm just saying. I used to spend $0.
You also got me raccoons.
Well, yeah, the raccoons were almost as much money as the boxcars.
To spend $0 on what?
But yeah, I used to spend $0 on just like I used to not buy stuff at train shows. I never bought anything at train shows until I started going to them with Gloria. And
I'm sorry.
so we came across
Yeah,
this.
I wasn't a bad enough influence where we went, so
Yeah.
he didn't buy anything.
I've been trying to get you to do some more buying, Ellis.
Well, you know what? I need that money for other things. Okay.
Like Volvo.
Trying to do
Like a-
Volvos
yeah,
and porch
car.
stuff. But yeah, so we've got this. Or we saw this booth that was doing these selling stuff. Glory saw the New Haven boxcar. That's the orange one. Fell in love with it because it's spooky. And then I saw the other New Haven boxcar, which is the one from, which is most similar to the one from the what is those short stories? the God damn it, they're
Bronson?
escaping me. The Admiral's Blockade Runner short stories. And then I noticed, oh, if you buy 4, you get 1 free, and they're $5 a piece. So, grabbed the State of Maine Products one. Gloria picked out the Old Dutch Cleanser one, and then I grabbed the PR Merchandise Service car. And then
I like
Gloria.
the cleanser one.
Hmm?
I like the cleanser car. That's nice.
Yeah, the Cleanser car is pretty cool. It's a ice reefer car. And then, of course, the State of Maine Products is classic. I can't wait to run these guys in the layout. I'm going to need to give them new wheels first, though.
Negative pain.
And then we were walking around, and we ran into a booth where they were selling lanterns. And, of course, I'm not going to drop $150 on a lantern, but I did happen to notice there was a Hocking Valley one. And I went, man, I know someone who will appreciate this. And I texted Jader and I sent him the second picture and I said, hey, I found this lantern. I know we already agreed on a price for you putting sound in Gloria's Baby Train Master, but would you do trades instead? And he goes,
What do you say?
is that like a real Hocking Valley lantern? No way. He goes, does it have HV stamped on it anywhere? So I went back and I found where it had HV stamped on it. And what were his exact words? Hold on, let me see. He goes,
The base.
no way that's a Hocking Valley lantern. Is it stamped HV anywhere on it? And then I sent the picture and he go, that do be HV. Hell yeah. You got yourself a deal. So that's
You could say that the deal was lit.
Point.
Yeah.
I'm my clapping isn't even registering on Discord, but it will show up in the thing. So yeah, that was the highlight, and then we went to. So the price of the lantern is actually more than what Jader quoted us. So I just was like, well, now I need to like get a good use out of this trade, and Gloria wanted to put, sort of at my terrible idea, replace the engineer and fireman in the Trainmaster with raccoons.
Raccoons!
So we went off
What?
to find a booth that sold the Woodland Scenics pack that has raccoons in it. Found it, bought it, and I think what I'm going to tell Jada to do is to cut the heads off like 2 of the raccoons, and then cut the heads off the people in the cab, and just replace them one to
Looking
one.
like humanoids.
Ah,
Yeah.
Like the old
That's
cartoon.
like a-
raccoon
So you
Him
have
on
like
railway
Tom
work.
Nook driving your baby Trainmaster.
Woo!
Hang on, what were the character names of the characters in the old cartoon raccoons?
I have no idea.
what?
Do you remember?
One in
I
Raccoon
don't know of that. Do you remember a cartoon called Raccoons? Or wait,
The Raccoons from 1985.
the Raccoons. Oh, it's from 1985 apparently. I don't know. Never heard of it.
Link address.
I need to give-
Why would you know
hey-
this?
Brian's point.
1985 George Orwell.
Literally
Oh, it's
90
Canadian. That explains things.
Oh, it's Canadian. Never mind.
Of course it is.
Damn it! I was
Um,
hoping that some of you guys would know this, but I'm like, oh wait, this is Canuckland exclusive. Damn it!
well,
Sorry, we just have police dogs.
something else in Canuckland is those trolley buses you were looking at. Is that right?
I've seen it. It looks familiar.
Ah, yeah.
Gloria said that's
This-
familiar
this
though.
is something that.
Gloria said that's familiar though. The cartoon.
Maybe it was broadcast in the States at one point, but I'm pretty sure it's Canadian exclusive. Anyway, trolley bus. I've been foaming over the remains. Both foaming and saddened
You
over
can
the
sad
fact
foam.
that we don't have them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been looking around at the remains of the Edmonton trolley bus system, and this all started when I was looking up like the history of Edmonton Transit. It was going to be involved in some of my school stuff. I want to look around at it, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty neat. And then
Nice.
I start finding out about the trolley bus more and more because after the streetcars went away, they got replaced with trolley buses. And I eventually found out that the trolley buses were actually stopped running in 2009, the same year my sibling was born, and I had never seen or ridden on one before, which is so sad because I could have.
Yeah, I noticed one of
What's
these
even
photos was
more
from
sad-
2006, and I went, "Wow, that's recent."
Yeah, and The worst part about this is that building that you see in many of the photos, that big brown brick building,
Mm-hmm.
that's the V building at Nate, where I'm going to school.
Oh, so you could have taken the trolley bus to school.
Well, I couldn't actually take the trolley bus to school because this is like the north end of the trolley bus line, and it doesn't go to St. Albert, which is where
Oh.
I live.
Oh, doxing
But
yourself.
that right beside my
Yeah, wait, what's
building
your
is
address?
where both the garage and that old trolley bus loop used to be. There's still one bus line that uses the loop. And if you look at Google Maps, at one point there was still an old like livery bus parked there.
Hmm.
And there are still signs there. Hang on, let me get those photos. Those were the ones I forgot. There's still signs there that mention the trolley lines and the garage.
The-
And it's just so sad that this is so recent that it like disappeared.
The thing that's crazy to me about trolley buses is because you have rubber tires insulating you from the ground. You know that's why you need that double catenary or that double trolley wire, and
Yeah.
uh, the it just makes the overhead lines where stuff connects that much more insane. Because with catenary you don't need like frogs on your overhead wire, but with trolley wire with regular untensioned electrified wire without pantographs and trolley poles, you got to have your little switch points on your trolley wire, and then when you do that for double trolley wire, it gets out of control looking. It kind of blows my mind. I also did not. It took me a while to understand why trolley buses need the double connection. It's because they don't have a path to ground, like I mentioned. If that's only occurring to people now as I'm saying it, welcome to the club. You're one of today's lucky 10,000.
What probably the worst part about this is how we were so close to keeping it, but the city axed it like with a one vote turnover due to the 2008 recession.
Aw,
And you can tell that it was so recent because like the newer looking refurbished buildings at Nate, one of the newer looking refurbished areas at Nate is this pedestrian overpass that links to the main campus buildings. It still has the guards where the trolley wires used to be. That's how recent this was, and I am so sad that it's gone. The worst part is, Edmonton apparently had like a historic trolley bus collection. Some of the photos that I posted that I found on the internet are of the 148, which is one of the buses in there. They also have, funnily enough, number 113. The problem is,
I did it first.
I've looked around, and I don't know where those buses are anymore because they were originally kept at, I believe it was, no, it was some bus station. I think it started with a C. But whatever that bus station is, whatever that bus garage was, it got torn down. So I have no idea where these buses are anymore. For all I know, they might not be around.
they're in your cabinet as tin cans.
Damn.
Like,
At the very least, though, there are Edmonton trolley buses that survive, notably 2 in the States. One at the IRM and one at the Seashore Trolley Museum. Hell, there's even one in the UK. And there's one that operates in Dayton, Ohio, but I'm not sure if anyone's seen that recently. But yeah.
Well,
that's interesting. That is, although I was going to say something about the infrastructure still being there. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that it was there recently. We know that it was there recently. But, TJ, you had a train trip recently, and you pointed out that the smoke deflectors on the station in Lancaster are still there.
Yes, and that's been over 100 years, I would guess.
Yeah.
Or at least a little under 100, I would guess.
Yeah, probably
but
closer to like
modern.
60 or 70. Because there was probably run through stuff that the PRR did with steam on the corridor there, but
at some point,
yeah,
when I find the time and when the weather isn't so damn cold, because Canada, I'm gonna go up to Westmount, the neighborhood of Westmount in Edmonton, and go
Whoa.
take photos of the old the old bus lane right of way that's abandoned. Apparently, it might have been a trolley line at some point, but yeah, the trolley buses had their own dedicated like bus lane roads up there. Now they're just used by normal traffic, but
Bruh.
it's neat
A bus
and
lane, for
sad.
the love of God, a bus
Um,
lane is the only way to reduce traffic.
Literally,
It's
and a bike lane.
yeah,
if
and
you
they got rid of it.
if you add
It's like a dedicated bus road.
if you add a if you add a lane, induced demand means you're going to get more cars in that road, so more traffic, and your delay will go back to its original amount. Even if you add other modes of transportation, those will get filled in by induced demand, and your delay will probably go back to its original amount. If you add a bus
Let me
lane,
see if I can
there's less
find.
traffic because there are no more cars in that lane. Taps forehead. But
Give me a moment. I'm just gonna grab
Artist.
another picture of 148 here to illustrate this. This is on the old bus right of way. Nowadays, they're like roads that just lead to the Elizabeth Planetarium or whatever it's called. It's some viewing place. It's like a tourist thing.
well,
But
that's
it
cool.
used to be a bus road, and this is what it once looked like.
This 100% reminds me of we asked General Motors to interpret that one red Soviet tram from that documentary that was on everyone's YouTube feed for a little while. This is just the GM version of it.
This is like if
Yeah.
you had an AI
Funny thing,
and you
actually,
said
about
it,
oh,
it's
sorry.
like if you typed in GM version of little Soviet tram.
Yeah.
This is what the AI would spit out.
Yeah. Funny thing about Edmonton Transit and GM in particular,
Uh oh.
the main Edmonton trolley buses that I posted all those photos of, Edmonton is the only city in the entire world to have ever ordered trolley buses with the GM new look bodies.
Really?
Those are the only
Interesting.
buses of their type. Edmonton had the only buses of their type in the world until they started selling theirs off. So now, now it's just Dayton, Ohio. But Edmonton was the original. So
Wait, Ohio has trolley buses?
Yeah.
yeah, the city of Dayton, Ohio has a trolley bus system, and part of their historic fleet is an ex-Edmonton one that they used for a while.
That's
Actually,
neat.
maybe two, but the existence of the second one is kind of up in the air.
Hmm.
There's only one confirmed to still exist. The other might have been scrapped for parts or something.
Yeah, I recently found out about Dayton's trolleybus network, and I was just like, really? Why? I mean, I was kind of impressed and just confused.
The
Why?
livery is kind of cool, if not a little bland. It's like two-tone brown.
Trolleybus
Wow.
are
Perfect
nice.
70s. Perfect 70s flavor.
Um, we do have to wrap up this segment. If there's anything else anyone wants to add, I know TJ sort of instigated you talking about your train trip, and then didn't give you a ton of time to
Yeah.
do it. If you did want to talk about it,
I have done
I just-
nothing model or train wise other than rail fanning. Haven't seen anything. So
Oh.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
gonna
I'll
real
just
quick post
mention,
a photo of one of the Dayton trolley buses, specifically the ex-Edmonton one. You can
Yeah, I mean,
tell
I'll
it's
just-
an ex-Edmonton one because, of course, it's GM new look.
All right, TJ, go ahead.
um, yeah, I mean, I went on a train trip. I went from Boston to Pennsylvania, back to Providence. I will say, for the first time transferring out of New York City rather than Philly for the first time in like 10 years, it has really improved. I'm a big fan of the Moynihan Train Hall.
It's a lot nicer than it was.
Oh my God. Well, so this is like the only part I'll talk about because it's like really the only interesting thing that like train related thing that I did. I followed the signs for Moynihan Train Hall, and then I went up the escalator and I came out in Penn Station. But like I haven't been in Penn Station for so long, so I was like, wait a sec, this is the train hall? Like, oh, this kind of stinks. And then I saw the signs from Moynihan Train Hall, and I was like, oh, okay, no, it's across the street. So I went outside. I think there was a concert happening that night
That still sucks.
because there were hella people
Yep.
in line for Madison Square
Oh.
Garden,
Hmm.
and so that was kind of crazy crossing the street with a bag, like with like a
What
roll
have
of
I just
suitcase.
found?
And so yeah, I ended up in Moynihan Train Hall. Got approached by the Shenyun people asking me if I
Awesome.
wanted to sign.
You
Asking me if I
did? Oh,
wanted
that's fucking
to.
cool.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. It
Experience
was
Chinese culture.
yeah. One
Have you
lady
ever
from
seen
Falun,
something so beautiful?
one
Drove
lady
you
from
to tears.
Falun Gong. She came up to me and asked me to sign a petition to end evil Communist Party in China.
That'll
And I
do
was
it.
like, I don't know enough to sign
Give me your
anything.
rifle. I'll do it.
Like, I know that we're probably mostly socialists here, but the Communist Party in China is actually evil.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've
I
watched
mean,
documentaries on them. They
But the
literally have
communism
the
in
modern
general.
version of Gulag.
Maybe
yeah.
I'll-
This is not the politics podcast, but I'll just say that the Communist Party of China, despite their communist name, is not left wing.
No,
But
they're kind of.
they-
They are evil.
Can I
That sucks.
interrupt this real quick
Give me
to
your
show
rifle.
off
Give me your
something
gun.
horrifying that I found?
Yeah, sure. Take it away.
I found the evil twin of the trolley bus. An electric bus that recharges with an upside-down pantograph.
What the
That's
hell?
attached
thank you.
to that stand,
What?
not to the bus.
That's awful.
Why?
Exactly.
Because
Oh,
batteries,
Volvo,
batteries
too.
are the
Ew.
future. Battery buses are the future. Totally.
This
It's a
is
Volvo,
not
It is a
too.
Volvo.
Volvo. I trusted you. Why
They
did
saw
you do
that.
this?
They saw that thing, and they saw that highway in Germany with the pantograph, and they were like, "We know, we can do that."
And
But
then they
this
did it
isn't
wrong.
that. The bus just
It's a
stops, and a
Volvo.
pantograph touches the bus instead of the bus.
No,
Ellis,
I
how
know.
can Volvo
Stuff
do
on the
that?
wire.
Because everyone's effing doing this crap.
Why?
They're not beyond this. They
I mean,
they
was it
invented
even
like the
Volvo?
seatbelt and the backup camera. They get a pass on this crap. They're not.
I don't even
Backup
think
No.
Volvo.
camera?
No, they
I don't
don't.
think-
It's a Volvo.
I don't think Volvo did this. I think ABB took a Volvo bus and retrofitted it, probably.
Yeah,
Possibly.
the
Don't
Volvo
care.
was
Still
the
a
only.
Volvo.
The Volvo is still somewhat to blame because they were the only bus company willing to do it.
How do you know they were willing? They could have just bought a used Volvo bus.
Because all the buses with this system fitted are Volvos.
Well, probably because they had a fleet of buses. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to think that it wasn't some sort of partnership, because it probably was, if we're being reasonable
Yeah,
here.
It is a
but
partnership, but it's mostly ABB's fault.
I also love how they put the pig nose from the Nissan 240SX as the grill for the top of the bus.
Oh my god. You want to know what else sucks? It sucks that Volvo's doing this. It also sucks that ABB's doing this. Because if you remember, they made the X2000.
also, I mean, every automobile manufacturer is experimenting with electric shenanigans at this point in time now. And personally, I'm kind of tempted to go to the Volvo dealership and just to go sit in one of the new, like, electric XC40s or whatever, because they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool looking. I know they're not like the way to the future, but right now they're pretty cool. I was at the X2000. Didn't we
No.
see one of
No,
these
no, no,
at?
no, no, no.
Didn't we see one of these at the WWF car show, TJ?
Okay,
I
real quick,
don't think so. I think we saw
before we
a-
move on, I just
we saw
realized
a
something
Porsche
even more
944.
sucky about this.
Oh, okay.
but they look
I
very
just
similar.
realized something. Oh,
Both coupes.
I just realized something even worse about this. ABB, as a company, stands for ASCA Brown Boveri. Brown Boveri is the company that built the new look trolley buses for Edmonton.
It all comes around. It all comes full circle.
No. Why? Why must everything be so shit now? Why can't we just have the best things from the past in the present?
Oh, you get it. You get it. A bus that connects to electricity. There you go. The monkey's paw curls.
Why? Anyway, I think we
Anyway,
should
yeah, it's
move
time
on.
for locomotive versus.
Locomotive versus.
So anyway, in the one corner we have. Oh, this is a. It's not a rematch, but it's a follow-up match because I like throwing things at K4s or throwing K4s at things. Incidentally, 1504 beat the ever-loving hell out of 148. So
Because it's a USRA light versus a AC versus a freaking FEC.
yeah, and so I decided, well, let's have it fight something more its own size, and so I said, well, maybe we should put it up against 1361. So here we are.
1361 is probably going to win. I'm just gonna say
You're
that. now.
goddamn right it is.
It's bigger.
Is it?
I'm fairly certain it is.
I don't know much about the 1504 anyway, but it seemed pretty impressive by the numbers it was pulling in against 148. But
But 148 is tiny. You gotta remember
that is what we learned. It sure is.
I
So
have a model of 1504's class, the USRA light.
who's
and-
representing what?
I'll go with 1504.
Okay,
I'll bite the bullet here.
bite the bullet. Okay.
I haven't participated in a locomotive versus in a while, so I'll do the other one.
Are you gonna do it? All right, cool, TJ.
Yeah, why not?
Let me get.
Probably gonna take. You know what? If this engine's bigger, then it's good that someone bad at the game takes the helm.
I was tempted to go and grab. I left all my trading cards in the car, but I was tempted to grab my 1361 trading card to use for this.
Oh well, good thing it's in the car then.
Yeah.
I'd feel bad if I was taking it away from you if you had it right there.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Which K3 class is or which is it a
it's the
K4?
K4S. Please.
K4S.
Let's see.
K4S or oh no, that's the Streamliner.
Already,
Okay, yeah.
I
K4S.
already knows. Which
Yeah, not the one that's just one. Or two,
Okay.
or however many turbo turds there were. There was a turbo turd on sale, at the show.
Was there any? Did you see any cool 2-foot stuff?
No, there was a lot of brass, but I didn't see anything narrow gauge. So, I would have let you know if I did see anything cool in 2-foot. I probably would have been posting it.
Yeah. I figured.
All right, can I get a picture of 1504, please?
Let me just grab one real quick one that doesn't look like garbage.
And I got a hot tub.
I think about that that commercial lives rent free in my head.
I just noticed the picture with 1361. It's just a headlight glass. Like there is no substance to the headlight.
The
It's just
headlight
glass
is
in
the light
front.
itself is at the back.
You know what else is in the back?
It's
My mom.
okay.
That's
Wow, that picture is crusty. What the
Oh, I
heck?
did not realize that when I first looked at it. Hang on, let me.
What's going on with this photo?
Busty.
I don't want to use the
It's
Wikipedia
from, like,
one because everybody
2004.
used that. Hang on. Copy image. Hopefully this one's
Okay.
better.
Oh, did I mean, I don't know if this is a style point, but I told you about the headlight saga for 1361. Did I?
The
Or no?
headlight saga? Oh, I think you did.
Yeah.
Where they had to steal a headlight off of like the back or something.
No. What? I'll talk about it when it gets to style points.
Okay. Well, at least they
Oh,
didn't
no.
steal a motorcycle headlight.
No, it didn't.
Wannabe.
The wannabe boys.
I
Mammies.
was really
God, the
hoping that
Wannabe
the
so
Wannabe
cursed.
boys would get put into the loco base by now, but I have not found them when I go looking. So, gonna have to send an email like, so any day now, right? All right. So
Hey, Steve.
We're
Wannabe.
waiting.
where
We're
Wannabe?
waiting.
Well, we're
Where to
waiting.
me?
All right. So yeah, this is basically me getting revenge on behest of my son. And TJ is going to wield the instrument of that revenge. So, who, to the people that are not playing, including myself,
Like Gilgamesh.
who should go first?
Wording what?
I'm gonna say take a gander.
Terminus.
I'm gonna say the ACL engine.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you.
Mason, what the fuck? Look what Mason posted.
What does
Horseman.
Mason do now? Christmas tree guy. Oh my God!
It's
Look,
just
they
so
they got
12:25 on the side.
12:25 running. I can't believe it. They got 12:25 running just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, in record time, man.
That's incredible.
Oops, we went too far.
God, you're playing with steam trains.
Amazing.
Okay.
Anyway, where were we?
We were. I think we were supposed to be doing locomotive versus. Brian, you're in charge of 1504. TJ, you're in charge of 1361. And Brian, you can go first, and I'll keep track of the score.
Valve gear.
Okay.
Wow. I don't think that's a great place to start.
Wall shark.
Baker.
Okay.
Oh, I think.
Most, if not all, of the USR episodes had Baker.
Yeah, they figured out it
Baker,
was
I hardly
good.
know her.
Oh yeah, yeah. Baker.
This one's a bit more of a risk because I don't actually know if it'll work, but driver wheelbase.
Which one? Which one do I read? Sorry. Feet.
Driver wheelbase.
Feet?
Yeah, the feet.
All right. 13.83.
Oh, thank God, 13 exact.
Okay, there's another point for Brian.
Maybe those guys.
Brian.
Brian.
Bran.
Engine wheelbase.
Hey Brian, you out there?
Hey
Yes,
Brian,
I'm
you out
here.
there?
I'm here. What?
I'm pulling
I
in
was
the Yermo
talking.
now. Let you know how it goes.
He didn't get the joke.
It's
No,
a running
someone
thing.
doesn't play Run 8. All right.
Engine
said-
wheelbase.
All right. 36.17. All right. Geez. Sorry. Oh my gosh.
Engine? What is
wheelbase.
your goddamn engine wheelbase, TJ? You fucking-
Engine wheelbase.
34.92.
Versus what? 35.
It puts the lotion in the basket. Mine was 36.17.
Yes, thick.
Oh.
Pacific.
Specific.
Overall wheelbase.
I'm gonna have to say 74.67.
70.79.
TJ doesn't even have a coast to coast. Alright.
Hey, what other I have a shorter engine questions can you ask?
I'm
He's
gonna ask
losing, he was
something
right on,
different,
boss.
actually. Axle loading.
65K.
58,200.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna quickly interject here and say that my model railroad club in Utah is having a very politically motivated response chain,
Oh.
reply all chain right now.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh man. That's the
It's-
best.
They are having it is.
It's
Oh,
less
no.
funny to me when it
Yeah.
happens outside
Get
of
the
work,
PM
but
to
I'm
do it.
entertained. Yeah, please
Get the
CC
P-
me in the reply all chain.
Yeah, get the PN to do that. I want to see Ray Schofield's opinions.
Oh God. All right.
Wait on driver.
Wait on drivers. Alrighty. Wait. Did we finish axle loading?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brian's was 58K.
199.5 thousand.
168,000 even.
Don't show these, Ellis, because I didn't
168?
blur out any emails, but
Oh God damn it! What is?
Oh my god, you can't even see. It's
I
so
can't even
small.
read it.
I know.
I
I
have my
hate.
text really small. I have my text really small.
Hold on,
alright?
all right. I can zoom in and read this out loud. The story on the news happened last night, right in front of Quilted Bear. They said
Yeah,
Oh
it
no,
was
wait. You have to
Bob,
start.
you
At
have
the, you have to read the second one, right?
Oh,
the second
is
one.
the second one first?
No, the first
Yeah.
one is first. No.
What?
What?
Wait, why is the text so small then?
It's because
I
it gets
wish I
bigger.
knew.
Oh God,
Uh,
I'm not even gonna.
Read.
This is just
I'll read it.
no. We do not
No,
need to
no,
read
no,
At
this.
the end, yeah.
locomotive versus more important than this.
Yes.
No, it's not. It's not.
Locomotive versus
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
engine
here.
weight.
Read bottom to top. From the very bottom
3045.
image to the top
Bottom
image.
to top. Oh, okay.
304,500. Bottom to top.
278,000. Rio Grande 278.
Okay.
Uh,
I
taking
just
the L here.
what I need to do, what I need to know is not the content of these emails because that like is already clear to me. What I need to know is every time you receive a new one. I don't need to know what's in it. Just every time the reply all chain.
I'm
Gets
gonna reply
longer.
all to everyone and say, if you guys want to talk politics, don't do it in a reply all chain, please.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, go ahead.
they enter sharpest tools in a shed, something like that.
Well, they're
They
talking
ain't.
politics in a reply all chain.
Yeah,
Tender loaded
Exactly.
weight.
I think
Under
some of them are
loaded
communists.
212,000. I know, I'm working on it. 212,725.
He has to
188.
manually
God,
weight it.
CN power.
What?
He's manually weighing his tender.
188,000 even, so.
We should just call this the Disruption podcast.
All right, Brian.
Total engine and tender weight.
Total engine and pretender weight.
517,225.
466,000 even.
Oh,
There's
man,
either been
I
a
couldn't
lot
have,
of rounding or just standards.
couldn't have guessed that.
Oh,
Not Penzi standards, but like just
There is a lot of
standardization.
standards.
Minimum weight of rail.
Oh my god, this sucks. 11,111.
93.
Jesus.
No way. I can't believe that.
Well, I mean, you have a cast
Alright.
pilot. It's going to add to the weight.
Thickums.
Can't believe that I lost that.
Big thickums.
Skill issue.
Skill issue.
All right. Brian.
Brian?
I'm starting to get into the risky things. Factor of adhesion?
Uh, 4.49.
Oh, thank God. 4.12.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Well, that's pretty good.
I responded
all
to
right.
everyone, and I just said, if you guys want to talk politics, please refrain from doing it in a reply all chain with 60+ people.
How do I do that?
I love
where
when there's
does
a
that-
reply all chain and you get 17 different people saying, "Please remove me from this reply all chain," and it's like, yeah, that's gonna happen, buddy. All you're doing is making it longer.
You're just making everyone more mad.
Yeah.
I hate reply all chains.
Oh.
I have every ounce of disdain for them.
I love them.
Hey,
Oh, this is really
like-
wholesome. One of the guys said, "Message received. We really shouldn't do that. Thanks for the reminder."
Aw. See, sometimes all it
Thanks.
takes is just saying, like, "Hey, can we not?"
Hey, dude. No.
Julius-
built.
Oh.
Julius, you were the
Uh-oh.
instigator of peace, and that's the best thing. Okay, year built. TJ?
Year built, 1914.
God, 1918.
I knew they were going to be close.
Like, this is like, apparently the ACL P5s were the final USRAs, maybe?
Interesting.
Because that's like at the very end of World War II, so. Or what? One. I meant to say one. Why did I say two? World War
Yeah.
One.
No, you were right.
Yeah, World War II, 1918.
Uh, I'm running out of things.
Okay.
Ratio of driving wheelbase to overall engine wheelbase. I'm probably
Oh, boy.
going to die here.
0.38.
It's common
Yep.
knowledge.
0.37.
Listen, it's common knowledge that World War II started right after World War One. So World War One was 1914 to 1918. World War II was 1918 to 1945.
I mean, by some measures.
Really, it was
Did
just
no one
one
teach you this
big
in history
war. It
class?
just moved
I-
around fluidly.
I'm going to be honest, Dean, I thought you were about to go into the it's scientifically impossible for a bumblebee to be able to fly. I don't know why, that's just what I thought was coming.
What?
I don't know, don't ask.
What is that?
Yeah, because he's a Beetle or a Camaro, not a jet plane.
So, TJ, the ball's in your court.
Oh, great.
False.
The moment you've been waiting for. You've won a stat.
Okay, well, let's do attractive effort.
Of all the things you could have called as a pansy engine, that was your first thought.
I don't know. Aren't they good?
They're decent. We'll see how it goes.
Anyway,
Isn't that like the
attractive
whole thing? Why do people like
Triple
these damn
heading
things if
around
they
a
suck
horseshoe
so bad?
curve.
Standards is why. I'm not
Anyway,
saying it's a cult, but
Attractive effort 40,753.
44,460.
there you go.
You have
I
more?
mean, we still won, but there's more obvious things
There's
you could have
more.
done.
Well, that doesn't matter to me because to me they're not obvious. Forehead.
Damn, wrecked 'em.
Forehead?
Yeah,
Destroyed.
you heard me.
What?
Destroyed
Did
by
you-
facts and logic.
What?
Did I stutter?
Did you just call Brian a forehead?
No.
That's what I heard.
No, it's
This
I mean,
makes
yeah,
no
it did.
sense.
5 head.
Like,
Great.
who else is bashing their heads in, not like praying they pick something good?
All right, firebox area,
Bruh.
sweaty. How about that?
That wasn't what I was thinking still, but you're
Who
probably going
cares?
to win anyways. 242.
322.6.
Yeah.
That's all right. You go again.
Great area. Great area.
Great area. 66.7.
70.
Yeah, it's not
All right.
great.
Evaporative heating surface.
3333. No joke, that's actually what it is.
4,058.
4058.
4,058.
All right.
Combined
He's
heating
creeping up.
surface.
Brian.
Combined heating surface.
Combined heating
Combined
surface.
heating surface, you said, 4127.
5,001.
And 1.
And one.
Nailed it.
Way to be those guys, Penzi.
Ah, yes, that one was really
5,000's not
helpful.
enough.
I just noticed one of the P5B, its combined heating surface is 3985.
Superheating surface.
I'm gonna superheat your mom.
No, you
Southern
don't.
Pacific 794.
TJ?
Superheating surface.
Yeah, 794.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that. Sorry. 943.
Okay. 12 to 7.
Let's do driver diameter.
73.
80.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I didn't realize how
Boiler
small
Did you
these
say
things
boiler
actually were.
pressure?
I didn't realize how relatively small compared to the K4s the 1504's class actually is.
USRAs in general, the
Yeah.
lights.
Well, it
The
just
heavy is
blows
more
me away
akin to
because
an
they were so
A-
much
K4.
bigger. They were
The
so
heavy, the USRA Heavy Pacific is more akin to a K4.
Boiler pressure.
But yeah, I was about to get to that. Boiler pressure 200 on the dot.
205.
205. Oh, there's an official way to be those guys.
Where are those
Yep.
guys, Pansy?
Just
Let's
5
do,
extra pounds.
Flues.
Flues. 36 at 5.5.
40 at 5.5.
Okay, wow. Calling flues at 5.5 is that's a risky maneuver, considering how large they are.
Tubes.
Tubes.
176 at 2.25.
237 at 2.25.
Okay. It's a big boiler barrel.
Let's do tube length.
18.87.
19.
That's
0.08.
oddly specific. It is now tied 12 to 12.
Let's
What?
do power L1.
Power L1. 17,878.
20,851.
TJ, you've taken the lead. We have passed the point of style points.
Power MT.
703.82.
Damn it.
691.2.
Ah,
Womp womp.
all right. It's 13 to
Style points.
13.
Okay.
Uh,
I think we should
Um,
I think we should go down to style points and see who wins.
That'd be fun. I
yeah,
agree.
style
Okay,
points, but
okay.
judge's choice first.
All right, judge's choice. Let's see. Let me
Oh,
let me
judge's point.
let me get a really hard
Okay.
think about what to do for judge's choice.
Give it the big think.
Oh no!
Dude, I want to call that
bias is
one.
The bias is about to kick in.
What?
The Penzi.
Wait, what did
Fancy.
what did Dean try to call?
We called Loco Base ID. I never pay attention to
We did not call Loco Base ID.
I'll call that. I'm gonna call Loco Base ID.
Okay, TJ.
That's my favorite stat.
Oh boy, 159.
14-17.
All right, TJ gets a point.
TJ wins that one pretty handily.
So in the under 200 club. Jesus, TJ.
Hey man, I don't know what to tell you.
Dean, do you know what you want to call?
Yeah, builder.
Builder. Oh God.
Oh no.
Several.
Several. 1361.
I'm also several, but I know for a fact that 1504 in particular is Alco.
Yeah, but Pensy better plus ratio.
Plus ratio. I'm
Wait,
pretty
aren't
sure.
you Junior?
Thank you.
Hold on.
Ostensibly worse.
Hold on.
No, I'm several actually. So
Let me-
No, it's 1361 in particular.
1361 specifically. I have this written down.
Oh,
It's in the trading card.
Juniata.
Hang on.
It might be Juniata built.
It is not. It's not Juniata. In fact, it's Altoona that built it,
Altoona.
The
Um,
W then.
which is
Home build.
less prestigious than an actual locomotive builder. So
What?
Yeah, we've
Oh.
removed the Altoona and Juniata equals Baldwin bit.
yeah,
So
that I
ratio.
removed. However, they are some of the most
Mm.
prestigious in terms of home built shops. At least Juniata is. But anyway,
So they would trump something like Santa Fe.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we
Whatever.
did that with Tyler last episode because Tyler made me do a thing because he's a son of a gun. Although this, I have it written down as Altoona. Maybe it should be Juniata.
Here's the question though: Are Juniata and Altoona as prestigious as British home builds?
That's a question for Tyler, and
Doncaster
the
or-
answer is
I don't-
probably not, considering.
The answer is who
Answer-
cares.
Bias.
Probably not, no.
Answer is get French
Considering
fried.
bias.
Get French fried.
Get
Uh,
freedom.
French
Get,
fries.
get freedom fried, bro.
That's not the
America.
title. Get French fried.
America build.
That's our title.
Okay, and I'm gonna have to ask for number built.
There it is.
no.
There it is.
Do I have to say it
425.
first?
Nope, TJ beat you to it. 425 PRK4s. How many of these things were there?
R/ more than you thought. 70.
Wow.
That's
Wow, incredible.
that's
you did a
alright.
great job.
I would have won against something that wasn't Penzi.
Possibly. Okay,
Oh,
so now it's time for
probably.
style points.
right. I had a thing for 1361. So when it was restored,
Hmm.
and running for a little bit, Legal told me this little bit of info. I don't know when it was. I think 88 or something. The dynamo for 1361 just stopped working. So
Yeah.
what they did was they stuck a Honda generator on the tender, ran wires from the generator through an MRC throttle.
Oh yeah.
because the headlight needs like a specific voltage, and then ran the wires to the headlight. So I
There
don't
you
know
go.
what.
Controlled
So
by an MRC.
I don't know what-
This may be the first full-size locomotive controlled by an MRC throttle.
Yeah. It's cursed, really.
No, it's wonderful. Until they broke it and it only did excursions for like 3 months. But, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Me?
Anybody.
Anyone.
Does it count if it's in the middle of it?
What does that mean?
If
Multi-fuel.
he's-
Oh.
I thought you were
Does
talking
it
about, like,
count
den
if
level.
it's in the middle of a restoration where it's going to be?
I'll
oil
count it.
fired?
I feel like that's fair-ish. I mean, it's we know it's gonna be.
I need to find legit style points for
But
this.
no, actually, you know what? That's a dangerous precedent. I'm not going to do it. Because then we could have stuff that's like, oh, it's in a rebuild, so it's gonna be run excursions. Those I should get a point for.
No,
excursions.
that's not what I mean. What I mean is it's going to be multi-fuel.
I know what you mean.
and that's
I'm
something
saying
that
it's
he can't get.
I know what you mean. I'm saying it's a dangerous precedent for me to set when it's not actually multi-fuel yet.
I'm pretty sure it does have an oil tender by now, but it won't. I'm not going to use that as a basis for operating things.
Yeah, until it runs on oil. It hasn't
Just
run on oil.
multi-fuel. It might
Okay,
have actually run. Actually, no.
I can think of several points for TJ,
Mm-hmm.
and I think 1 point for Brian off the top of my head right now.
DJ, do you have anything that sticks out at you about this?
Not really.
Okay.
I don't really
TJ,
know, I don't really know much.
Well, you have an
Uh,
excursion
Dino-
career, so that's a point.
yep. Cast plow,
Yep.
folding coupler, dynamo placement, because it's put on the front of the smoke box, because this was a post-war rebuild.
Yep, because it's easier to reach if something breaks.
Which doesn't mean
Incidentally.
shit because of the aforementioned generator thing. So it's pointless.
I'm sure it was easier to
But
attach the
anyway.
wires.
Probably, sure, I guess.
Does
And yeah,
1504
that's
have
all
a
I'm
power
gonna-
reverse?
I would imagine it did.
I need a picture of the other side. Oh wait, where's the really crunchy picture? That's of the other side. It does have
It
a power
does, yeah.
reverse. Okay.
That piston, that's like that cylinder that's like in the tender. I think that is to like help push coal forward so it can get into the stoker if it has one.
It's a coal pusher. I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah,
not
that. Yeah, it is. I would argue.
I mean, if,
another thing.
do they both have stokers?
I'm not
1361. I don't
actually
think it
sure.
did. I don't think the K4s had stokers. Did they?
Since we're not counting this as being multi-fuel, I can't use the oil-fired equals stoker thing.
No, we're not doing that.
So I don't know if it does.
Shoveling oil.
Most K4s were hand fired, but I
Like the
don't know if
Silverton.
1361 ever got fitted with a stoker because, I mean, the Pensy sort of got pressed into adding quality of life improvements to their locomotives after, they were in service for a couple decades.
Because they're bad.
Aha, I found something actually. Because he's using 1361 in particular, he can't go for the streamlining point.
That's
or
true.
Paint points.
It's not the turbo turd.
I can equal any of your like aesthetic things.
Yeah, I feel like the
Uh,
Keystone number plate is balanced out by the cool little roundel on the tender.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
you gotta look closer at things. And
Well, you're
really,
5
this just
points
means
down.
that I have to look at pictures of 1361 to see what I do better.
Which is not much. TJ actually gets another point for the bell pair.
Yeah. I was about to.
And I'm
to-
guessing he gets a point for cast pilot. Full
I already gave him those.
I mentioned that.
But I don't know if 1361 had a stoker. Actually, where's my trading cards? I can just look
I
up
guess
the digital
in an
version.
effort of weight savings, the ACL's pilot truck, they aren't solid disc pilot wheels. They're like spoke.
I'm not sure if that's an advantage or disadvantage. Because
I would imagine advantage because it is like saving off weight, even though it's like not a lot. It's still something.
I don't know. Oh, it
I mean,
does
we
say
already
that.
know it's a-
It would.
It does say
We
that.
already know it's a lighter engine, though.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that would come out in the wash of weight points. Oh, there's a couple of other things that 1361 would have, which are kind of, And because I'm here to help this thing dunk, and TJ doesn't know what he's doing, with all due respect,
Love you, TJ.
let's just go down a bit of a list, shall we?
Oh,
You've
Oh,
got polling pockets, which actually does the ACL
he
have?
does, yeah.
ACL has polling
Yes.
pockets. That would make sense. But there are a couple of things that you don't have, like for example, a water scoop.
Oh god, yeah.
You are the state locomotive of Pennsylvania,
Sadly.
And-
You're on a license plate.
yeah. So propaganda.
Propaganda.
That counts as propaganda, I suppose. And you do have an automatic stoker. So
He does.
yes.
Hang on, can I combat that? Like, I'm not actually sure if 1361 has it. Might actually have it.
Hmm?
I have a combustion chamber firebox.
Yeah, I don't know if 1361 has that or not. Tyler would know.
Isn't aren't
Has
all
a
fireboxes combustion chambers
No,
though?
well, yes, but actually no.
This is more specific than that. Don't try and cheese your way out of it.
It
Yes,
is
but no,
technically a chamber where things combust.
That's what a firebox is.
Hang on a
Yes.
minute. What?
It's like, is there like a firebox inside a firebox? What does that mean?
It's like a
Hang on
second
a-
thing where it
Hold
burns the
on, hold on,
unburned
hold on.
junk.
Hold on. I need to
Nice.
get a picture of the other side, 1361.
Oh, it's just gonna keep going.
But
PR 1361 images. Like, show me what this looks like because I need to
Show me what
verify
you got.
whether or not I'm actually
Show me
seeing.
Ooh, question. Do any of you have boosters?
I mean, we're talking about just
don't.
1361, and 1361 does not. So
I might actually have more air.
Uh,
maybe.
Perhaps. Like there's this giant
I
air
know
tank
your
on
tanks are fat, but they're also short.
Mm, I don't know. I feel like that's a wash unless we wanted to do some measurements, which I'm not about to do. Not about to figure out.
Yeah, I think that the ACL one has more air because it is longer. Sand capacity, I think the ACL one has TJ beat.
I don't know about that.
I was gonna leave sand as a draw.
Yeah, I think that's a draw at best. You probably both have air ringers and manual ringers.
You have two fat but very short tanks. I have two long tanks.
Nobody has doors.
Oh wait, what?
K4
Cab doors.
I thought I had
has
doors, but I could be wrong.
I'm not seeing one on your.
No, I don't. No,
Yeah.
I don't. Never mind.
This is a surprisingly high resolution photo. I didn't realize until now.
Yeah,
But
it's
unless,
20,
but you're-
it's 20.
You were cool 9 points down. I think I'm going to call it there.
Well,
Damn
would
it.
it? Well, you could argue white walls,
Eh,
or is that a pain point?
I mean, yeah, I probably deserve the white walls point, so it'll be 15 to 23.
yeah.
The
there you go.
last I'm the last surviving original USRA Pacific too.
Oh, that's kind of neat. 16 to 23.
Okay,
You should
Um,
get
All the
a point
other
for being
quote
the-
unquote
That's a question.
USRAs are
that's a question.
are copies.
He should get a
Who
point for
has-
being.
Who
you should
has
be the-
more condensing space?
what?
What?
Condensing space for like
Oh,
air pumps. You have like really hot air, so like you want the air to be cool when it goes into the air tank, don't you?
it looks
so,
like the Pence
that's why
has
I-
more, but I'm not even going to try to figure that out. TJ, what were you trying to say?
We should give him a point because he's the real standards.
The real standards? No.
Sure,
No.
dude. I would.
Nope,
give
not
to
writing
him.
that
Yeah.
down.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
one though? Because you have
Uh,
standards for PRR, and then you have the USRA standard.
Actual
Yeah, no,
standards.
no.
Actual standards,
It's
not
the-
standard land.
PRR came first. USRA illegitimate standards. No,
Take
no
away
claim to the
points for
throne.
Take away points for communist trains.
No, just because AC, the 1504 was not the. Hang on.
Nope,
Let me just
we're
look at
doing,
something real quick.
PRR standards first. Who are we voting for, by the way?
I'm voting for ACL because screw Pensy.
Screw you.
I know who I'm voting
I
for.
hate. You know that I hate the Pensy.
Yeah, well,
TJ.
I'm voting
You
for
know
standards
this.
because God sits at the right hand of the president of the Pennsylvania Railroad and not the other way around, and don't you forget it. Achilles, are you alive?
He might just be
He's
dead.
muted. He might have. He might
So
have.
something I've learned.
He might have
I
fallen
I
into
only
the email
win
chain.
I only win locomotive verses when I pick my own engine.
Well,
Because remember, the first two times I came on the podcast, we did things with Canadian engines that I chose, and even though I didn't think that and even though I thought that it was fair, I managed to call the shots in such a way that I won.
mm-hmm. What was I supposed to name this episode? TJ, what did or not TJ? Dean, what did I say earlier?
For the title?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, it escapes me now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no.
We said something and you went, "Oh, that's the episode title," or I said something and that was the episode title. Oh well, forgot.
There's something about
Keep
like
getting
the
off
email
track.
chain.
Something about the email chain.
That sounds right.
I don't know. But yeah, discussion topics. But Achilles is dead. So what do we do?
We move on to the next person.
You.
I'm writing "Did you died" to Achilles. Now
Did you
listen,
died?
while we wait for Achilles to come here and give us the news of impending catastrophe and destruction,
Oh no.
I'm gonna give us some good news as a palate cleanser. How about that? Early
Good
palate
news,
cleanser.
everyone.
What, TJ?
I said good news,
Yeah,
everyone.
good news. The Baton Rouge to New Orleans rail project has received $20 million in funding, in federal funding. That was back in August, and it's coming to fruition because Amtrak and the freight railroads have allegedly struck a deal that will allow passenger trains between at least New Orleans and Mobile. So, they've collectively reached an agreement to support passenger and freight service in the Gulf Coast corridor. The parties filed a motion today informing the STB that a settlement agreement had been reached. They're not able to provide further comment on the terms of that agreement, but at least everyone is, if maybe not happy, equally upset. But Amtrak gets to have their train, so that's a win for everyone. And I know that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Baton Rouge, but it's continued investment in the Gulf Coast. And yeah, this is just sort of a blurb down here about the situation over the past, 17 years since Hurricane Katrina, which severed the service there. And let's see, this is a post from @RailMag on Twitter, the soon-to-be-defunct internet platform, which shows the new signs up at Bay St. Louis and Gulfport, Mississippi, preparing for the coming trains. So, very exciting if you happen to live down in that vicinity. And it's good to see that this is coming along. Now,
Hang
at
on,
the
where's
same
the route
time,
again? Where's the route again?
the route is from New Orleans to
Baton Rouge.
no, not Baton Rouge. New Orleans to Mobile.
Yeah, there it is.
But yeah. Also, has anyone been missing an Amtrak train? I know we don't all take it. None of us do. But, possibly one of Amtrak's most beautiful, at least on the East Coast, is the Adirondack. It runs by the site of our favorite barge bridge, and it's coming back, finally, in the spring. It'll be back, it'll be running all the way to Canada, or at least it should be. And, I don't know, that's just very good news. Thanks to, it's sort of a recovery. It's, I think, the last train that was still shuttered after the COVID closures. And yeah, it should be between April 1st and June 30th of next year. So, you'll be able to take the train from New York City to Montreal again. And back. It would be nice if this coincided with the creation of that Boston to Montreal sleeper train that we had been talking about. But it's just nice to have good news. there was also some bad news from Amtrak, which just has to do with not being able to make it through the holiday crunch because they don't have enough rail cars. But you know what? We're not gonna talk about that because we want to talk about good things, which is why O'Gillies should not be the person talking next. But he is back, allegedly.
I am back.
Hold on. Before we move on, though, I just had a thought. Like, if the freight railways keep denying Amtrak permission to actually do this, like, say, actually no you, and, like, cancel the whole Baton Rouge, New Orleans thing, I just had a thought of another train that I could run similar to my whole Phoebe Snow plan, and bring back the old, and bring back the Rebel.
I was going to say the Phoebe Hurricane, just to, sort of regionalize it.
Does anybody even know what the Rebel is, though?
I mean, it sounds like a train.
Gulf Mobile in Ohio's flagship.
That's, yeah, a name with interesting connotations, but nevertheless.
But they look awesome, though. Hang on, let me look this up.
I mean, here's the thing: if you name something
Rebel.
the Rebel, it's going to be cool, like just on its own merits. But as long as you don't look at the context.
Paste. Like, look at this.
Oh, this is their Zephyr, huh?
Yeah.
Neat.
Well, they ran the train without these, but this was like the prime time for that train.
Prime time.
Well, I think that the Southern had rail cars that looked just like that.
Well, the Southern. Oh wait, no, it wasn't the Southern.
I think they may have been secondhand from here, from the GM.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or the other way around, but
Probably.
maybe not.
They all just get passed around.
Brayden's probably gonna crucify me.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
Okay, so never mind. It can't wait. We have news.
We have breaking news, like breaking news.
Well, this is from Dean's favorite resource, the World Socialist website.
Let's say no to communism, boys.
This
just
is
say no.
Rank and File Workers Resolution, quote, congressional, or not quote, but Rank and File Workers Resolution, congressional imposition of railroad contract is, quote, completely illegitimate.
That's
Oh boy.
sure.
Oh boy.
Here
so,
we go, boys.
Yeah, so I guess we're not waiting to talk about this. Achilles, would you like to bring us into your discussion topic, please?
I would love to.
Oh
bring
God,
you
we're all
into
bringing
this
screwed.
discussion
Go
topic.
on, get some canned goods after you watch this podcast.
The
Everybody buy toilet paper. We're gonna run out of
No,
toilet
no, no.
toilet
Canadian
paper
dollar will
infrastructure
be-
shut down. Buy toilet
will
paper
be
now.
higher than the American.
the self-proclaimed most pro-union president in American history
Yeah.
has just signed a bill into law to force railroad workers into work and to impose the kind of shitty deal onto them, because even though he said he's pro-union, he isn't. And
Gee, it's almost as if he's a liar.
Well,
liars are all over the place in politics.
Being a politician takes you as far as being a politician takes you.
Again, I direct you to the photo of the bat where Joe is holding it, and right behind him with a big ass grin is Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, well, this is
Yeah,
just a
I don't
wonderful
like
1-2
McConnell
punch
either.
from Congress where the Democrats are like, no, you are
the
going
bastard.
back to work, and the Republicans are like, and without sick days. So,
Yeah.
The Democrats largely, so it was pretty unanimous to force them back to work.
yeah.
But it was pretty partisan to not give them the 7 sick days, which you really would think is kind of just basic like human rights. But
Yeah, like here in Canada, we have like mandatory by our government 10 sick days at least.
Well, we were working
Yeah.
on that, and then the
And
government got in the way
year?
of that.
Which government, though?
Yes.
Yes.
This is why
And-
I never vote for Democrat.
Dean, do you realize
What?
that
They're the ones that want to give us the
I
sick
know.
days.
I know. I'm not.
So you're just not gonna vote
I
for
voted
anybody.
against Biden.
Okay,
I voted against him. I'm proud I did.
all right. Okay, Dean, I'm glad that you're a bootlicker, but we're
So
not
who are
going to
you
talk
gonna
about
vote for
politics
now?
right now.
I
Kanye?
will throw my shoes at you.
What, the ones with your saliva all
like
over them?
ones.
Yeah, they're gonna get your wall all wet when they miss.
Vote, Dean votes for Kanye West, the musical.
Anyway,
No, God,
no.
okay, Dean. All right, Dean.
That's who
all right,
you're.
Dean.
That's who you're
no.
allied with. Right
No,
now.
All right,
That's
I'm
who you're
just
friends
trying to
with
tell
right
the
now.
news. All right, I'm just
Vote
trying
for
to tell the
John
news here.
Browning.
I'm just trying to tell the
What
news
the-
here.
Let's go.
Dean just
What
raped
happened
the
there?
I
podcast.
moved him so you'd shut up.
Don't do that.
We'll continue.
That's censorship,
Gulag.
bro.
Yeah.
It was
That's
pretty
censorship, bro.
partisan. It was
What happened to the tolerant left?
God, just get on with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that to you too. I'm tolerant. I'm not tolerant of anything. I don't like being interrupted.
Hey, wait, railways, not politics.
Oh my god!
I didn't think I was up to interrupt.
I'm trying to tell this story and everyone's just chiming in.
The Confusion Podcast, that was it.
Okay, so anyway, it
Go ahead,
was
O'Gillies, you can
80 to 15 votes to split in the Senate to force them back to work, and it was pretty partisan to give them 7 paid sick days. Mostly Republicans voted against giving them the basic human rights of 7 sick days, and it was largely Democrats, other than Joe Manchin, voting for it.
Don't. In fairness, Joe Manchin is an independent that caucuses with the Democrats.
Kinda. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But continue. That is the rundown. It is amazing how okay, and I will say this: the situation is not a good one, and pretty much no matter how you shake it, the government, just as a whole, wants to avert a strike because
Right,
they
and that's
don't
not
want to
unreasonable.
they don't want to look bad in front of their constituents because if suddenly their constituents are buying $10 bread, they're going to be kind of upset. So
Well,
they're using the power given to them to prevent a strike. However, they are doing it
They made a
in
law.
they're doing it in the way that hurts them as little as possible because they don't need to worry about pissing off their corporate donors, etc., etc. Like, on the one hand, it is very much we're trying to save the butts of the country here, but the other hand is, and we're trying to do it explicitly in a way that
on slave labor.
It saves our butts.
yeah, that saves our butts and gets us paid. No one seems to
It's
care
basically slave
about
labor.
profits. Nobody seems to care about profits contributing to labor.
Right, but they don't.
Yeah, exactly. So we have this situation where, again, pretty bipartisan to screw over railroad workers. Outstanding job, everybody. You should not be proud that
I mean,
someone voted for
so I saw that that a bunch of members of the squad
this. The squad.
voted to send people back to work, and I was pretty disappointed about that.
Yeah, I was pretty upset about.
Never trust it.
I will say.
Well, so
one.
I want to clarify. They didn't just do it because they hate workers. They did it because that was like. This is from what I've read. It was like the only way to get the 7 sick days voted on separately was if they voted to make them go back to work. So their hand was kind of forced if they wanted the sick days to go out of the House as a separate bill, but also like the people who are like supposedly the most allied with unions. Yeah, not voting with the union is not a good look.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is, and it's the choice between putting the country over a barrel by basically saying, no unions, go back and negotiate more, like, with the railroads that are being obstinate and don't want to give you anything. And, I mean, I feel like we need to go back 2 weeks in this sort of situation, or, maybe 2 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, to remember when it was abundantly clear that the unions were not getting anything else out of the railroads, and the railroads were perfectly happy to have some sort of catastrophe come down upon both them and the country, just so they didn't have to cave. And if the only other opportunity there is a strike, what? It just begs the question of what other powers does Congress have? Does Congress have the power to force a more beneficial agreement, sick days specifically aside, uh, onto the companies? Yeah, in a manner of speaking, it would be, you'd have to enact laws that sort of set up worker treatment, but I don't know.
That's the
It's
pro act.
That's the caveat.
yeah, it's
Just trying to find like who voted for what. That's all I'm looking for.
Oh, there's a look up like
What the fuck?
there's like roll call or whatever. You can find it online pretty easily. I found
Hang
it.
on, wait, hang on. The fuck? Quote, I always knew you were a socialist, end quote. Senator Bernie Sanders, independent Vermont, choked to Ted Cruz, Republican
funny.
Texas, on the
That is
Senate
funny.
floor after he voted
Yeah,
in
it is
favor
kinda-
of the additional page 6 leave.
Mhm.
It is kind of funny seeing someone like Ted Cruz, who I never would have thought in a million years would vote for something like that, and Mike Lee, I think, voted for it too.
it's
Yeah, I
amazing
never
to
thought-
see. Sorry, go ahead,
Yeah.
TJ.
No, I was basically going to say the same exact thing that everybody else is saying. I never thought I'd see Cruz and Sanders on the same ticket.
Well, it's amazing to see that in a situation like this, it becomes abundantly clear. When there's actual like consequences and stuff on the line, because let's face it, like the senators, as rich and powerful as they might be, members of the government as rich and powerful as they might be, they
Yeah.
they don't want to deal with a railroad strike either. Like life will still suck for them, not as much as it will suck for the rest of us, but it will certainly still suck if the economy as a whole comes to a grinding halt. So, like, when there's, like, actual consequences, suddenly, like, stuff can happen. Like, suddenly the political machine can work again. And in situations like this, it just makes it abundantly clear to me that, like, these two parties that we have are so, like, large and inclusive as to be, like, undefinable, The people that exist within them are all individuals with their own sets of opinions, and yeah, most of the time they follow the party line and toe the party line because that's their job and because that's the thing next to their ticket and that's how they get voted in, and because there really isn't anything serious on the line, certainly at least not to them, But now when this is probably the most consequential thing that's going to happen, not in our lifetimes, but certainly in the next few years or the past few years. I mean, COVID response, sure, but like this is a really, really important like milestone. This will be in history books more likely than not.
Yeah.
Especially if the fallout, continues to fall out.
I know it's more likely than not they're gonna do a wildcat strike.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them if they do, or at least tons of people are going to quit.
Everywhere.
Because it's
They should just do quiet quitting. I think.
yeah,
God, horrible.
Just sit silently in their locomotives and
yeah.
Just like
do-
no,
do as
like,
little as
they just
possible.
Start the engines up, sit in there, and do nothing for 12 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's what they do though. They sit in the field though.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's these parties, when you have people from disparate parties, from different parties who seem to be like diametrically opposed foes,
There it is.
coming together
Boy.
on a bill like this, even if it didn't end up passing, it just strikes me as like, damn, I wish we had more granularity in these politics.
But also, it just goes to show that like the things that people are like, damn the socialism, like they're doing the socialism, like that's not really socialism, man. Like look at like Ted Cruz agrees with Bernie Sanders here.
Mhm.
Like, and I feel like if it weren't for the like whole like propagandized identity politics, aspect of like left and right in our country, like you'd see this a lot more.
Yeah, and I mean,
Because
to
we
get
like,
on my
like the left
Go ahead.
like the people like the populace in America agrees on a lot more than they disagree on, but like there are vested interests making it like smoking mirroring us to make it seem like we don't agree.
And on top of that, people people agree on more than we think we agree on. We
Exactly, yeah.
dislike each other based on a few little things, and we miss the bigger picture that could make something better because we're too worried about the letter next to somebody's name on a card, or we're too worried about
I mean, how
uh,
many times in a day do you hear the country's divided more than ever?
yeah. I mean,
Like it's like you don't think that people saying that over and over again has something to do with it?
and it's a shame because it's not just at our level, but we do need to be aware of it at our level, and we need to, at the simplest way, the simplest thing, befriend someone with different views, live with someone with different views, not just like physically live with someone, but just exist around them and learn to discuss things with them and learn to be kind to them, even if you don't agree on things, because you agree on more than you don't, and it's those things that you do agree on. Those are the things you don't talk about, because why would you? And
Because they don't. It's worthy.
if you can figure out places to meet in the middle on things, if you can figure out why you see differently, you will learn way more than you ever will just talking to people who agree with you. And it can be hard, and you can get frustrated, and you can get heated, and you can, sometimes be called names or sometimes call names. Things get out of hand. But if you can learn to apologize and learn to move on, maybe we can have a generation of politicians who doesn't act the same way. Because it's divided down here and it's divided up there too. I know it's a big club and we ain't in it, but people are voting the way they're voting, and by people I mean senators and etc. People in government are voting the way they're voting because there's no more compromise in politics. Because
No, I would disagree. I would say people are. I would say down here, what you're saying is true down here, but when you move up to the big level, there are things that we down here cannot comprehend involved in their decision making.
Well, what I was about to say is because it makes them look bad. Because you can no longer propagandize it if people are obviously working across party lines.
Yeah.
It's to help the cycle. It's not even necessarily about the people that get elected. It's about the machine they get elected into. Because you can have someone who seems wonderful and honest and good, and when they get up on the big stage, they are going to have to play politics. And if they don't, then they just don't make a splash and they aren't voted on again. Their name doesn't go in the presses. The establishment doesn't care about them. Even like you said, even the Squad and even Bernie Sanders, as good as he is at sticking to his guns about X, Y, and Z, still voted for putting people back to work as part of what should have been a compromise or what could have been a compromise. And that's not a situation you want to be in. If you like Sanders, you shouldn't be happy that it voted for that. If you like, if you like anybody who voted for sending the workers back to work, or anyone who voted against giving them sick days, you shouldn't be proud of that. It doesn't cost.
Yeah.
It doesn't reasonably cost anything. It doesn't take anything from us. It doesn't take anything appreciable from the railroads, or our government or our nation. What did we have to lose?
And also, it's worth noting, remember, even though it's important to vote against these people in primary elections specifically,
Yeah, look for people that are honest, because you could get someone who wants to break the cycle, or at least someone who's interested in doing something like reforming voting, because then we can have more diverse parties and people who probably are going to align with your interests more. This is something I said, I think, yesterday or the day before. If you ever look at the ticket, when you go to check the boxes and you say, oh man, I don't really like any of these people, but I guess I'll deal with this one. You need to start looking for people who want to change that. People who want to make it so that in the future you might be able to get someone who agrees with you a little bit more, who is more centered on the points you agree on. You know, Dean, you're kind of a gun nut. And if you want to be a gun nut, and if you care about, your Second Amendment rights and etc., you're going to pretty much have to vote Republican. And that comes with a whole bunch of other stuff which you might not enjoy. If you want, if you want better transit in your hometown, you're probably going to have to vote Democrat. And that comes with a whole bunch of other stuff that you might not enjoy or agree with. And, why are those our only choices? Our only viable choices? It's just not right. Because it's just a big old political machine that, and I don't mean to be defeatist here, because getting out and voting for something that might make a change is the only way that we're really going to be able to make a change, aside from running ourselves, I suppose. But then people need to vote for you. That's how that tends to work. I don't mean to be defeatist, but that's just the machine, and we need to be aware of that when we're making our choices and when we're forming our opinions about the politicians and about the people who vote for them. So, anyway, I'll get down off the soapbox now. Point is, we're screwed. There probably is going to be a wildcat strike. The system of logistics in this country is going to come grinding to a halt, and $10 bread.
It's going to be a frog war against the entire government.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have to make Conrail too. And I know that's been the running joke, but like,
Conrail is gone rail.
What is going to happen next? What is going to happen when all the railroad workers quit and no one wants to fill those shoes? Normal people are finally hearing about this strike situation. I got a call from my mom who was like, "Have you heard?" And I'm like, Yes, I understand.
We've been.
Yes, I run a podcast. Of course I do.
But like, people are starting to realize that, holy crap, this is serious. Like, people are the big wheels of the machine are turning, and it's not going to be good at the end.
I saw a poll from YouGov that was like talking about the general populace and how they felt about the way that the Senate and the House voted for the two bills. I think it was sent a couple days ago. I don't remember where exactly, but I'd like to see that poll done a week from now.
Oh God!
Because I think the tide of public opinion is going to change so quickly. Or it's going to be I don't know which way it's going to change, but it's going to change very quickly within the next week or two here, I would bet.
Oh yeah, people will care. People care very much about being upset at these votes and making sure these workers have like sick days and stuff until bread is $10. We will see how it goes after that.
Or alternatively, until they realize that the workers deserve better.
Yeah.
Whatever. Which I hope is the thing that drives public opinion in a direction. But likely it's going to be my groceries and my gas. So.
Yeah. Well, because it when stuff starts hitting close to home like that, it's tough to
Yeah. And that's why so many people voted the way they did. I mean,
it's going to be a bloodbath. Hopefully not literally.
I just found this amazing model of the Memphis Bridge.
Does it have a crack in it?
Orgasming over bridge.
All right, well, it's not that important.
I would put one in there.
You should crack it. You should go there with a TNT nitrate bomb and blow it up.
Yeah, you should get tannerite.
Yeah, in Minecraft.
What have we even done at
In
this
Open
point?
TTD. In
There's
OpenTTD.
a crack in the bridge.
Okay, can we have
But
some
anyway.
good news? Or can we have some more they
I
took
have-
our
I
gerbs
have some
You
news?
can
good
get
news.
you can get some more bad news.
I have some good news. I have some good news.
I wasn't okay.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Did we talk about UP embargoing?
I mean, we did a little bit last time. I just figure it sort of went with it. There is another article on UP embargoing, saying they're a tool of last resort. Well, they're about to have to embargo everyone because nobody's going to show up to work. So, you know,
Yeah, there you go.
so you know, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, it's not atrociously terrible, and maybe they just won't be replaced by humans at all. Dean?
Okay. So CSX wants federal approval to use trip optimizer's automatic start and stop feature. This is going to essentially automate all trains. There will be
I
well,
wonder why they're doing that right now.
Yeah.
well, I mean, it would require no human input essentially.
No,
Like,
that's not true.
you
It
would-
would still require human input.
Yeah,
It
turn
just
on and
all-
off probably.
All that this system does is start the train and stop the train.
Yeah.
Which
And-
and just by applying brakes and dynamics, it's not like a drive the train.
Okay.
It gives you recommendations, but it like, hey, we recommend you apply 12 pounds of air to make this stop, or we recommend you go to notch 7, stuff like that.
Okay.
I got it wrong. Now the optimizer will not work if the train is in dark territory.
Right.
So that's gonna makes sense because it does no signals. A couple years ago, and I
Well, it is interesting that, you know, currently it is the way, well, in conventional trip optimizer use, the system's auto throttle works at speeds of 12 mile per hour and above. And it can apply dynamic brakes, and when air brakes are required, it can recommend how long. So it can do the throttle, it can do the dynamics, it can't do the air brakes yet, but the next step is to give it control of the air brakes. Which is part of 0 to 0.
I don't think the government will say yes.
Well,
I just don't think the data is there to support it yet.
Depends if there's a Wildcat.
yeah, exactly. No, if they can't run trains, the government's going to say yes to anything.
Care about data now?
We're going to have a Wildcat strike, and either we're going to have Conrail 2 Electric Boogaloo, or we're going to have one-man cruise and automated trains. Yeah,
Right.
time will
We're
tell.
gonna have Tesla train.
Tesla train.
All right. The Netherlands has automatic train obstacles or automatic
Obstacles.
what obstacles? Automatic train operation.
Train hurdles.
Sort of.
Literally.
Train. What's it called? Alstom has demonstrated a fully autonomous operation for a switcher in the Netherlands, so it can start, stop, and not avoid, but stop earlier
It
than
can swerve.
obstacles. It can swerve, yes. The future of trains. It's just a
We
truck.
put a steering wheel in this switcher.
Yeah. So, I'm not seeing how it really works, essentially, but quote, by integrating advanced obstacle detection into our autonomous driving systems, we have shown that it's possible to make trains see ahead and cope safely with the unexpected. So from what I'm reading, it needs a tank of copium to actually work right. Otherwise, it'll just have a nervous breakdown. But it looks like it could work. I'm not sure of the practical viability for mainland operations.
America's too big. It's not going to work.
Yeah, like in Europe, sure, why, I guess, but not here.
Dean, he was being sarcastic. If it's a yard switcher, the yards are yards.
I didn't catch up on that. Your pee-pee.
PP? You have a PP?
I just want to
said
say
you're
that
a PP.
these.
I still my damn
So this is a diesel hydraulic locomotive, which is also neat. But the thing
Well,
was
it's common
presented
there.
obstacles. So the obstacles were like they parked a vehicle in its way, or put like a rail car in its way, or incorrectly positioned a switch, which is actually kind of interesting that it can detect that in particular. They also just stood a person in the way, which, man, I don't know who decided who was going to
Balls.
stand in front of the locomotive and see if it hits them or not, but I'm not it.
I would imagine they put a dummy up first.
I-
Saw that. Yes, it stopped,
Oh, it was a dummy, all right.
and then and then and then the next course was, "Hey Jimmy, stand right there."
Yeah.
But that's no tracks. Yes, I know.
We're breaking FRA regulations. We're standing in the gauge. Oh, the train's coming. Guys, is it going to stop? Guys, why is no one in the cab? Guys?
They just ran it in. No, what they did was they put the most hated guy there.
Yeah.
Told him, "Hey, stand there and don't move no matter what, or you're fired."
Here, we'll blindfold you. We're going to bring out your surprise in a minute.
I love that.
Pro tip, do not do this with your coworkers. There's
with
only
your
one
government.
automated switcher. I will say, though, as far as automated locomotives go, just in general, they've got to be a lot easier to deal with than automated cars. I mean, they can't swerve.
Yeah.
People can't swerve into them. Like,
There's no like, does it hit the two kids or does it hit the grandma challenge?
yeah, exactly. It just plows through both of them with
It
impunity.
just hits them both.
Multi-truck drifting, man.
Destroys the building next to them.
I know.
Yeah.
I know for I don't. This is kind of an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Uh-oh.
I don't hate automation as in terms of railroads, and I think that is something we will see in our lifetime, whether we like it or not.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we can get... The thing with automation is, it only needs to be as good as a human. And humans are
It's
kind
so
of...
hard to be as good as a
Yeah,
human.
humans are kind of bad at a lot of things. Especially when those humans were hired, like, with zero training after all the employees quit for some reason. So, when we have...
Some weird reason.
Some
we
weird
just
reason.
Can't quite seem to figure out.
They took sick days forever. So, yeah. It's I mean, let's be real here. And this
Be
is
real?
yeah, this is like
No,
a
that was this morning.
this is a super socialist take. But if your only concern is keeping people employed, you're missing a big part of the picture. Because if you can do the same job, if you need 4 people to do a job to get a result, but you can do that same job with 1 person and get that same result 100% of the time, why not just pay that one person 4 times as much and have him support the other 3?
Excuse me, Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
We have a thing we need to do.
Oh God, what is?
On December 9th, the the East-West Rail Commission in Massachusetts will be holding a public hearing on Boston to Springfield passenger service.
Hold on, December
That
9th,
doesn't
you said?
exist.
December 9th.
Oh
in
God damn it!
Pittsfield.
What time is it?
It's at 11 a.m. in Pittsfield. What the heck?
Oh God, yeah, of course they're gonna make me go all the way to freaking Pittsfield. I mean, I'd do it.
Oh, it'll be on a,
This
it'll
is
be a
why.
live
This
it'll be a
is why.
live stream.
Oh, thank
This
God.
is why transit never gets anywhere because they always schedule the public hearings on like a Thursday at 11, so no one can go.
Yeah,
and they're
exactly.
like, well, I
Yeah,
guess no one wants mass transit.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, wow, why did nobody show up?
So
Oh wait,
if we can do these train jobs with 1 person or none person, just find a way to pass those on to people so then you don't have to figure out employing all those people you just made obsolete. Just saying. What?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you would still need like normal yard workers to like actually couple and uncouple cars and
Oh yeah, no, you'll need
Like
some
small
people,
paperwork.
but I'm just saying you'll need fewer. I mean,
Like,
just
it
look
is
at the
gonna
railroad
be
industry
a lot
now
less.
compared to where it used to be. They use a lot fewer people, and
Yeah.
you know there's a reason they're making money hand over fist. Is
and still trying to downsize.
yeah. Well, more money. Who's trying to upsize,
At the
though, right now? Oh, wait. Somebody is, right, TJ?
Hey, Mister.
What?
Someone's trying to upsize. Who's getting bigger?
Brightline is.
They sure are.
Bright line, more like
Brightline
fart
is.
line.
Brightline says, quote. Hold on, I closed it by accident.
Nice.
Nope, I clicked the wrong one.
Also, I like how we have the New River Bridge in Florida, and just compare that to the New River Bridge in, like, West Virginia. And I don't know if West Virginia is compensating for something, or just...
Yeah, so it looks like it says Brightline to Broward and Miami-Dade is close.
Which I believe those are counties? This is
Yes,
when I wish
I
East
think
was
so.
here.
Last week, Tri-Rail announced that within a number of months, it's likely to start direct nonstop service from its north-south corridor west of 95 into Miami. And now, Brightline, which controls the rights for passenger service along the FEC corridor, says it expects to reach written agreements with Broward and Miami-Dade with counties within months.
Yay!
We continue to advance projects with Miami-Dade and Broward counties to provide commuter service on our corridor, improving mobility access for local neighborhoods and acting as a feeder system to our high-speed inner-city service, Brightline said.
I want to go ride Brightline.
I would also like to ride Brightline. One thing that you might be able to ride that's also Brightline soon is Brightline West.
That's far.
Yeah, that is far. Brightline West, Las Vegas to LA, high-speed line construction to start in 2023.
Just need Brightline South to connect Brightline and Brightline West.
I would say Brightline South is just regular Brightline, but that is Florida, so it probably is, it's something different.
Need back the entire Southern Railway system.
Yeah, it's high-speed trains that only exclusively kill people.
Brightline is getting bigger.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that's not getting bigger
Air
is
travel in France.
the French short-haul domestic flight market.
They shut them down.
Because under France's 2021 climate law, the French government has banned short-haul domestic flights, and it's now been approved by the European Commission.
Is there a definition for short haul?
It says, initially the ban will only affect routes that previously operated between Paris's Orly Airport and Nantes, I'm sorry, I'm not French, Nantes, Lyon, and Bordeaux.
Oh, okay.
Connecting flights will be bound by the same rules.
Bordeaux.
That's
You got Bordeaux right, but Lyon.
Lyon.
Yeah, that one's a wine. I know the wine.
You want to know why they're doing this?
I'm on de
Because
facto.
TGV.
Yeah,
Because they have
Yeah,
a competent rail system.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the reason why because this is a good question that Dean asked earlier, why is this on the Terminus podcast? Because it's a perfect example of what happens when you have high-speed rail. You can do things like this, and your entire transportation infrastructure will not just collapse.
Yeah, it is nice to have this ability as France. And once again, I'll say this is in part due to them having this like widespread electrified high-speed rail system. But as people like to point out, that's just one part of the puzzle. So this wouldn't be this wouldn't be like carbon savings if they canned all the flights and the passenger trains that would replace them were getting power from like coal or natural gas plants. No, France.
Well,
it would
power
still-
from nuclear.
France is
It
continually
still would be
building.
less, but yes.
Yeah, but still, France is building nuclear plants still because they are the only country based
Yes.
enough to do so.
Because they weren't propagandized after like a small nuclear incident in
Mhm.
Pennsylvania.
I mean, they're way closer
Or
to
Ukraine.
Chernobyl. If they should be worried about anything, it's like, yeah, well, if the French can figure out how to make a nuclear reactor that's like safe, anyone can figure it out. I feel like anyone should be able to figure it out. Have you seen their warships? They, the French aren't known for their engineering prowess anyway. Although they do have some really neat early steam locomotives. Anyway,
Cars.
Cars?
So my
No.
my discussion topic really isn't much because I couldn't find many articles or tie together a theme. So just train good, everything else not good.
Not as good.
And Ellis, I'd just like to say one last thing on this mass rail thing.
Yep.
Apparently, Charlie Baker was favoring a program called the Western Massachusetts Rail Authority.
I don't know if I like that.
So apparently,
Who's Charlie Baker?
Government of Massachusetts.
I don't how did you even say that Worma?
What? Oh,
Worma.
Western Massachusetts. Yeah, Worma, I guess.
Because Wes, I guess I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So Worma apparently is one entity that the state has proposed to secure funding and govern the rail that would be operated by Amtrak. Yeah.
I don't know. It
Hopefully
seems
that's a thing that
sus
happens.
to have like a separate authority for it. Just
I
reform the MBTA.
Yeah. Well, I forget who I was talking to, but they were saying that like MassDOT and the MBTA weren't really designed to operate outside of like connecting Boston to not Boston.
Right, and that's true. I'm just
So-
saying, like, just like rethink the MBTA then instead of just making another.
Well, I mean, I think if they're going to rethink the MBTA, they need to make it stop paying for the big dig, and then
Yeah.
we can move on. Speaking of rebuilding and
Yeah,
restructuring,
Brian, you're on speed run time. Not too fast.
All right. I've kind of been tabbed out doing my own thing recently. Anyways, so
Bruh.
yeah,
see how it is.
there's
Thanks.
finally back to good news. We've got some heritage railways that have been doing some big things. First of all, let's start off with one of the most iconic, Cass Scenic, who are finally building a link between themselves and their kind of sub-road, the Durban and Greenbrier.
Peter, where are you?
Yeah.
They've acquired some bridge beams for the Trout Run Bridge, and
Yeah,
they're
huh?
getting really close to actually linking the two lines together.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Speaking of linking two lines, there's actually a very similar project going on across the Atlantic, although the one that, pardon slight American slander, but that I think is actually much cooler.
No, Cass has
Great
Shays.
Central reunification.
Cass has Shays.
Yeah,
Who
But-
else has shades?
yeah. Cass may have Shays. The Gray Central has a 60-mile-an-hour speed limit.
Yeah, well, so okay,
Now that
I don't see the
is cool.
I don't see the issue here.
This is
Shays.
essentially the northeast corridor of heritage railways. What they're doing right now. It's going to be fast. Because
Fast,
they
but
basically have
ultimately
the
disappointing.
Great Central itself is actually basically just two different sections of railway that aren't linked, but were part of a main line at one point. However, they are going to be linked now, and they're putting up a bunch of bridges and restoring a bunch of fills, and so far it's going great. But they've still got some stuff to go. Hopefully, we'll see that completed in the future. Speaking of things that are going to be completed soon, I think this is the final thing I'm covering here, but Nevada Northern is also completing a link. The old ping pong line that they use for commuter service between Eli and their own yards.
Julius, do you know anything?
They're relaying.
Sorry, go ahead.
They're relaying the tracks down towards the White Pine Public Museum, which actually still has some track in it. So they're going to relay the roadbed to there and start operating a somewhat separate excursion service with the 45-tonner.
Yeah, I was looking at.
Kind of a weird like commuter thing,
Yeah,
sorta.
I was looking
I mean,
at them on the
it's
map.
not like. Go ahead.
Just saying, I was looking at them on the map, and I was trying to understand where exactly this is because I don't think I get it. I don't know where. Oh, I guess I see it. It's even shorter than I expected. But
I looked at
yeah.
the map already. Kind of neat. You can see that there's already, if you're looking at Google Maps, you can see that there's already there's like some track left at the museum.
Yeah, it's just this. It just goes like, I don't know, what is that? 1 mile? Half a mile?
I didn't.
I don't know. It's not far. Achilles, what were you gonna
About
say?
a mile of track, it says in the
It's
article.
like half a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're hoping to have it run. They're hoping to have the line running soon. I don't see a specific date. The article mentions specific dates, but that's only for the rebuild of number 40, the 460 they have there. So I don't actually know when they're going to get this completed, but hopefully soon.
Yeah, that's neat. I feel like so many heritage railroads have this problem of we have built our main loading station, or our main loading station is not at one end of our line, it's sort of like part way along it, and this presents operational difficulties if we ever want to use the whole thing. The Nevada Northern's even worse because their line is, well, it's not a straight line by any stretch of the imagination. It's just sort of peels off. This is another run that goes into downtown, as opposed to the one that goes all the way around. I don't know. It's just something that I've noticed with a good number of railways, the Valley included, and the probably someday the WWF. I know they want to move their loading further south as they build further south, but someday they're going to be in Wiscasset, hopefully, and they're probably not going to have their main parking lot there, because traffic isn't bad enough in Wiscasset.
No, I think they should take down a few of those ratty ass old buildings in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
put a few parking lots.
yeah,
Put a
absolutely.
few parking lots and multi-lane freeways in there.
Yeah, we need to turn Route
I
1
think they-
into
yeah, I was just
a
gonna say.
4-lane interstate.
I was just gonna say, turn Route 1 into an expressway.
Idea just built to Farmington.
Yeah, then
Buy
people
some
can get on
scooters.
there. Duh.
I think we should build
Get
a
a boat transfer.
We should build a Quebec. Don't
we
be
tried.
outrageous.
We tried.
Yeah. Don't be
We
outrageous.
tried to
with
get them to buy a boat.
We did.
Hungry.
They were considering it. They gave it more
Oh,
consideration than
Wanda.
I had expected when I brought it up as a joke.
Yeah, they were like, no, actually, we did.
Yeah. Said, well, we could do that, but it'd be a lot to get a volunteer crew for a 6-month journey. I was like, yeah, you're right. That's why this is a joke. Like, no kidding, you're not gonna buy a schooner. Anyway, that's the Terminus podcast. Are we done yelling at each other?
Yeah, I actually fucking hate all of
We
you.
have train
Yeah.
on Amtrak.
Me too.
Thank you for watching.
I don't
the
agree with
Amazon
any of you, but I like you all.
I want you all to die.
Latest train on Amtrak. You're forgetting.
I know, I'm getting to it.
Oh, I thought you were closing out the podcast.
No.
Yeah,
Before-
that's the next step.
For the latest train on Amtrak, I have to do maintenance of way, which is where I remind everyone that the next episode, which is on December 17th-ish, is going to be the Zombie Train Locomotive Royale episode. And following that, we are going to take 3 weeks off and come back on December 7th. So,
Bye-bye.
December 7th.
yes.
You're going back in time?
Oh, sorry. January 7th.
January 7th.
I'm not saying that we won't, but I'm not saying that we will.
Well, I
Sorry.
mean, given your resources.
Come back on the 7th. So yeah, we're going to take 3 weeks off, come back on the 7th. And that's going to be, what is that? Is that going to be episode, what is this? This is 198, right? No, this is 197. Damn, that's going to be episode 199. And that means episode 200 is going to be on the 21st of December, January. Anyway, keep that on your calendars. Gonna get back to doing Royales soon, TM. Once Tyler has, like, Wednesday evenings available. Or what have you. And, yeah, latest train on Amtrak. For the people that looked at it earlier, shame, shame, shame. What are
Can it
people's
be me?
guesses?
I'm gonna go ahead and guess the. Well, I don't know. Give me the Westbound Builder.
Westbound Builder, okay.
No, I lied. westbound or northbound / westbound crescent.
Crescent. Okay. Brian, Dean, TJ.
Gonna have to say the eastbound builder.
Eastbound Empire Builder. All right.
I forgot. Is
Is
the
there a
Wolverine still a
west-
thing or no?
Hasn't the Wolverine not been? Oh no, the Wolverine's running.
Okay, I'll take. Is it north or
East west.
is it like? I'll take an eastbound.
Eastbound Wolverine. That's an interesting choice. Brian.
Is there currently a westbound? Hang on. I got to decide between the Southwest Chief and the California Zephyr.
No, flip a coin.
No,
On
I'll
mine.
just say the Zephyr.
Okay.
Westbound Zephyr.
Westbound Zephyr. We can actually start there. The Westbound Zephyr, on its way to Emeryville, is in Helper, Utah. It is on time. And there's another one in Osceola, Iowa.
Osceola.
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 Tucson.
Asiago.
Which is 24 minutes late. Asiago. Yeah, there we go. The northbound. You wanted the northbound, right, Dean?
Yeah.
The northbound Crescent is 40 minutes late at Anniston, Alabama.
Wait, Crescent.
I wanted the crescent.
Oh, my bad. Which direction of the Crescent did you want?
Northbound.
Okay, well there you go.
That one.
40 minutes late at Anniston, Alabama. Oh right, Dean wanted the Wolverine. The Wolverine to Pontiac is 2 minutes late at Battle Creek, Michigan.
Damn it.
And
It was
let's
worth
check
it,
out
though.
this Empire Builder. There's one right here, Empire Builder Chicago, which is 2 hours and 15 minutes late, but it's not the latest train on Amtrak. The other one is 6 hours and 2 minutes late, but it is also
You're cheating.
it is not the latest train on Amtrak. The latest train on Amtrak
Damn
is
it.
the California Zephyr to Chicago, which is just about to pull
Which
in
just pulled in.
a cool 6 hours and 19 minutes late.
Damn it.
God.
Honorable
Should've
mentions
gone
are the
eastbound instead of westbound.
Yeah, honorable mentions are the Texas Eagle to San Antonio, which is 3 hours and 2 minutes late, and the other Texas Eagle to San Antonio, which is right at the beginning of its journey, and it is suffering a service disruption. So, don't know what's going on over there. Via has some trains that are about an hour late, but of course, the Canadian is on time. So, with that out of the way, terminations. Oh wait, Brian has to go first because they have him a point for that terrible joke. Brian, what's your termination?
My termination was just going to be a link to an Alan Fisher video.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Not Alan
you can
Fisher.
find out where that is.
Oh, that's dangerous link.
Yeah.
I don't think you should post that.
Yeah. Hold on.
No,
there
just
we go.
watch.
I got it as a link.
The thing
Uh,
is,
Go ahead.
the link is to the video where he explains why trolley buses are good and battery buses are bad.
Trolley buses are good. Dean?
Bring back the trolleys.
Uh,
Put up the dang
yeah.
wires.
So a long time ago, UP tried multi-track drifting. It didn't work.
Well, they should have tried it with something bigger.
So it's the time before Eurobeat.
Julius?
I have locomotives getting painted, and I'm so excited to share pictures with you guys.
Oh, really?
When they're finished. Yeah.
Oh, they're not finished yet.
No, they're not finished yet. I would have shared them earlier,
Okay.
but I'm excited for them to be finished.
I was gonna say, damn, you sandbagged this whole time? I'm not typing the whole thing out. TJ, what's this?
I mean, just like this is what people are voting for. That's all I gotta say.
I see the word motorboating. Oh god.
No,
Oh god.
no, it's fine. It's not inappropriate. Like I mean, like there's no. It's not TOS.
Well, see, I wouldn't mind. Never mind.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. Not on this podcast.
I would like to give a shout out to.
That's the new Patreon show. Actually, that's my termination. We're making a Patreon show. It's NSFW content only. It's called After the Terminus, and it happens every week after the Terminus.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna be left hanging half of those weeks, but it's okay.
Overpromise, like I said, and then they're disappointed at the end.
Go to Northeast Corridor. I'd like to give a shout out to friend of the pod, Heis. No, in seriousness, Mark ended up in the Drive magazine, well, digital magazine, for his stunt of cooking a pizza in 491, which is just fantastic. Yeah.
Wait, The Drive?
Yeah.
Like the Drive?
The Drive. TheDrive.com.
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly,
It's soy facing on the.
I saw this video and man, I wish I could have got some of that pizza. I like how they describe the pizza: homemade dough and sauce, fresh mozzarella, and a layer of sharp Parmigiano Reggiano, like that parm stuff in the shaker in your fridge, except it tastes like cheese and not sawdust.
Oh, this is so awesome! The guy, one of the staff members.
It tastes great.
So I'm assuming Mark Huber is
Heis,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I'm not doxing him because this is a public name on his public comment.
Yes.
He said, "You ever pop by the shop? We can make one for you."
Totally cooked in the firebox.
God damn it, Brian.
Cheers!
Sorry.
Cheers for the article, mate. And one of the staff members said, "I might take you up on that. Didn't have a way to name drop the Colorado Rare Museum, but I visited as a kid more times than I can count. I recognize the inside of the roundhouse from the first few seconds of your video."
That's so perfect. It's so cool.
Yeah.
They're hitting it big. The 3/4 of an 88 are gonna be top
They're the
gear
first
for
train influencers.
Top gear for trains. It's gonna be so good. I'll be their Stig, except instead of knowing everything about driving cars, I'll know nothing about driving steam locomotives.
Hold a minute. I just looked in the article. It says it's good enough that Huber and Company believes the train itself deserves a bite, so they toss in a sacrificial slice as a tribute. Feeding your trains to honor them is something of a tradition, apparently, and it links to that photo.
The photo of them
cake.
tossing the cake in the locomotive. Classic memes. All right. Well, the moral of the story is, while we all may disagree on things, we're all going down together during the logistics catastrophe.
Not me though.
A special thanks to you're gonna suffer too. Trust me. As America, so does the world.
As America light, you will suffer too.
So,
That's
special
Take
thanks to
over your railways. It'll be fine.
special thanks to my co-hosts and our guest, of course, and viewers like you who make
All
this
two of
podcast
you.
possible. Just kidding. Even if both of you weren't here, I'd still be making this show. Because this is my excuse to hang out with you guys. Anyway,
Aw. Love you, Ellis.
thanks to Wes and Steve for running the Loco Base. Without it, we would not have our trading cards, which you can still buy from me if you hit me up. And, of course, Virtual Railfan for not taking us down. We'll see you all next week, and in case of an emergency, not including a Wildcat Railroader strike, please call Conrail. Actually, no, including a Wildcat Railroader strike.
What is Conrad going to tell you? Get good, Lamau?
No, you call
Yes.
Conrail as like a come save the day, and then they do.